You know, maybe it's because traditional security companies make it such a pain.
Oh, hello, everyone. I admit, I always wanted to be an anime girl. That's...
Bro, who that? Hey Google, play some music.
Playing some music on Google Play Music.
Hey Google, play some instrumental tracks.
Sure. Here's a Google Play Music station called Classical Focus.
Alexander, what's going on, sir? Where's the cam? How you doing? How was your weekend? How was the birthday man's weekend, man? Hey Google, stop.
Here at Union City, our glorious council ministers are dedicated to making all citizens happy all of the time.
Yeah, you know, we're getting older. It takes some more time to do that. Preferably more time for you than me. But yeah, I gotta take a day thereafter, hard drinking, just fall the fuck back. Alright, I'm gonna do my daily fucking catch up. This is what I do when I'm not on here. Since this new channel doesn't really have that much activity, I've only got 6 subscribers on this channel. You're one of them. Yeah. We got 90 days left to this console life. I give absolutely no fucks. Mission accomplished. Faggot 1 and 2 are here in attendance. To my assumption, that's Chaz Devlin and faggot ass Ruben Q. It's cool. Just make sure you catch that stream when I'm in New York. Don't miss that. And don't DDoS that. Oh, but you can't DDoS my live YouTube anyway, so. Yeah. I really don't give a fuck about much shit. Anything else? We fucking, we handled, did everything we were supposed to do here. This entire little lockdown situation, it's been quite interesting. And now I want to find out just exactly how interesting. So, here's what I normally do. I'm pretty sure you'll appreciate it. No, I don't know.
Thank you for coming back to my channel for your stimulus check and stimulus package update. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share these videos.
He's the guy I was telling you about.
Tremendously, and I would appreciate it. Leave me your comments.
That I listen to.
Your thumbs up, your thumbs down. I like the thumbs up a lot better. An update on my wife. They still hadn't done the procedure today. There was a small complication last night, so we're waiting on that. It may be tomorrow before they can do the procedure now. We don't know. We're just waiting on a phone call. I wish I could go up there, but they're not allowing anyone in the hospital but patients and the staff, of course. It's driving us both crazy. Okay, it's finally here, the day we've been waiting for. Congress goes back to work. Let's see what they get done for us and how fast they can do it, or how much they're going to drag their feet. Top Republicans are meeting with President Trump today at the White House to hash out the next package and to also discuss the uptick in the coronavirus. That's
yeah. Alright, here we go. Yeah. I have a rival, you rappers on time. I'll rap back where you at, everywhere, worldwide.
And it's on now. Everybody know that it's on now.
Yeah, I've been living a shop and a kid that I really call it, going to feel me, and he was someone that you and moving and grooving and something. Hell yeah.
that we're all facing right now. There's a big uptick in it, and we're facing a lot of big close downs again. Mitch is prepared to roll out the $1 trillion package in just a matter of days. Really, I believe it will be more than $1 trillion. There's no way they can get everything done that they need to get done with just $1 trillion. Okay, I am asked in the comments a few times, when do I think they will get the next bill passed? I think it should have been passed 2 months ago. But with that being said, Congress is, and Mitch McConnell, all of them are saying that they will have it done by July 31st. But if we can trust them for that date,
you going out of state?
We can just hope and pray. The next 2 to 3 weeks, I think, will be a lot of people making clickbait videos. It's going to be a lot going on, and people's going to be working on that scenario. That there's a lot going on, so be careful whose videos you click on. Make sure you only click on the ones that you trust. There's only about 3 people here that I trust enough to click on their videos. Essential workers. Sadly to say, it don't look like they're going to get anything. Nothing is being discussed about essential workers. They put their lives on the line for everybody to have some form of comfort during the whole thing. Their jobs was so important to the people, and they took the chance of getting the virus and going to work, and to that they probably going to get nothing. It just don't seem fair to me. Y'all, several people has asked me in the comments about Social Security and SSI and SSDI. Will they get the check? Y'all, right now there is no stimulus check. We don't know if there's even going to be one. We're hoping that there will be one. Indications indicate that it will be one, but we just don't know until it's signed on the dotted line. But in my opinion, if it's going to be a stimulus check in this next package, I feel like the same people that got it before will get it again this time. Now that's just me thinking. That don't make it fact. Anything can happen. They proved that time and time again.
My boyfriend's sex doll is talking to me. We're all sex dolls until we topple the patriarchy.
Someone made a comment, I think it was 2 days ago, that I must really be needing a stimulus check. Yeah, I do need a stimulus check. They also said that at least me and my wife will be getting a stimulus check. Well, that would be strange. We didn't get the first one, and I don't think we'll get the second one. But yeah, if they send it to me, I'll take it, and I'll say thank you very much. Y'all, we all know President Trump said if he don't get payroll tax cuts, he will not sign off on the bill. He will veto it. So if he feels that strongly about that part, the payroll tax cuts, and he also said that he wants a bigger check for
He's a Trump supporter,
pockets.
just so you know.
Why don't President Trump tell Congress if he don't get a bigger check for the people to put in their pocket, he will veto the bill, just like he did on the payroll tax cut. But the payroll tax cut is more important to him, and I'm going to tell you why. Y'all know I pick on the Democrats and I pick on the Republicans. I try to keep it as straight down the middle as I can. But think about this payroll tax cut for a minute. It comes out of employees' paycheck. Well, at the same time, the employer has to pay the same amount. The employer pays half, the employee pays half. Now, Donald Trump has got a lot of different businesses, and he's got a lot of employees. This payroll tax cuts will save his companies a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. Just something to think about. I'm not accusing, just saying it's something to think about. He stands to lose a lot of money with his businesses without the payroll tax cut.
There was a proposition
And
about
at the
that.
same time, that payroll tax cut also comes out of Social Security. So, will it bankrupt Social Security? We don't know.
That was the proposition that also
How long will it be
introduced
for?
$10,000 for essential workers.
Will they replace the money into Social Security after they come out of this thing? Again, we don't know. Y'all, I hope they do something and do it right and do it fast. People are still losing their jobs. Jobs are still being closed down as the country faces another big shutdown. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their houses. A lot of people don't know where the next meal is coming from. A lot of people's lost everything they've got already. Some people, it's already too late for them to start over. But I do know one thing, that
my dad used to come home drunk every day and hit me. My mom had passed away from giving birth to me, and my dad hated me for it.
is a bright spot for us. November is election time. If they screw us, we have to return the favor. We have to vote them out of office, because they're proving to us how much they don't care by not helping us. Now, further down the line, closer to election, they say we won't get another stimulus package. I call BS on that, because further down the line, we're going to need even more than what we needed now. Republicans will not say no for another stimulus package close to election. The Democrats will not say no close to election. President Trump will definitely not say no closer to election, because they all know what they do is political suicide. So they all want to be better than the next person. Republicans want to be better than the Democrats want to be better than the Republicans. Donald Trump wants to be back in office. Y'all know I've said before, I like Donald Trump. He's made a lot of bad mistakes. But the biggest thing about him is his ego. And if he loses, what will that do to his ego? So I don't think he's going to let himself lose. He's going to do something to guarantee that he will be elected again. And the only thing I can think of that would be is to put more money in the people's pockets so they can have the life that they used to have. All of this is my opinion, y'all. Nothing is fact. That I say that is my opinion. Just like everybody else on here that's making these videos. It's just their opinions. We will know in a few days what they're going to do. But until then, please come back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and then tomorrow evening at 1 o'clock for another video.
What do you mean no need?
I will have 2 videos.
Oh, no need to. I read it wrong.
This is over. I hope y'all like my videos. Please come back. Hold your heads up high. We will get out of this. It's just a matter of when. We just have to have faith in God and keep striving for the best. Y'all, I love you all. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a thumbs down. Leave your comments. And just know, I do love you all. I read it wrong first time out. I was like, no need. They don't need to do it within the next 10 days. Need to do it within the next 10 days. Extra unemployment stops 31st. The federal funding stops the 31st. The state side funding doesn't. But the both of them, feds give up 6, your state gives up 2, 1 something, varies from state to state. That's what I was telling you about before. Walter Wayburn. Hopefully there's no glare. Walter Wayburn. I'll just type it in the chat. Right. Here's another guy I listen to. I want to hear him. He's more optimistic. Walter gives you hardball politics. This guy I'm about to listen to, we're about to hear. He doesn't sugarcoat shit, but he doesn't. He has a more optimistic delivery in his speech. That's all. It just hits different. He pretty much says the same shit, but under different tone. And this is L.A. Late. L-A-L-A-T-E. L.A. Late. All one word. But he's got 84,000 subs. Last dude, I didn't even check. I forget. But I caught on to the last dude, and he caught my attention in my ear because he was a Trump supporter, and I didn't know he was a Trump supporter, and I was listening to him, and then he just said it in one of his things. Y'all know I support Trump. I was like, oh, okay. Not like I've got anything against Trump supporters. I didn't take into this political war, divisional war. I didn't take into it when Obama was in office for 8 years. So I ain't finna fucking start in 2 or 3 because of some white guy with orange hair. But let's continue. This guy's a little more specific.
This is LA Lake with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. Hope you are good and safe. This one's about the check, especially if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and Veterans benefits. Great news, good news, and breaking news today about the check. Wow. As you know, we said to you that on Monday we will see the second stimulus check proposal from the Republicans.
See, I just want to say this too. This guy, last guy I listened to, He does one video every day, 5 o'clock in the morning. This guy, he does 4 videos throughout the day, and he hits different topics, all political, but different topics. So okay, so like this one is just for the veterans, Social Security, and SSDI, disability. So really doesn't apply to me at all. But go to the next one.
In times like these, many people are going to experience hardships in many aspects of life. Hundreds of thousands of people are getting laid off left and right. And it's only a matter of time when the foreclosures start stacking up, real estate prices plunge, and the media is starting to talk about how bad the market is, and investors run away from real estate, just like they did during the crash of 2008. Yes, the government has put a temporary hold on foreclosures and on evictions, but eventually that will end, and the foreclosures are going to start hitting harder than ever.
Evictions are still in fucking play.
Desperate for
people are getting evicted.
FPUC will expire next week, but what will happen to it in the weeks to come?
Now that's what this one, he's going to talk about what we were just talking about, the federal funding.
Hey everybody, this is LA Lake with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update today. This one's about unemployment, FPUC, PUA, and UI. Coming up next week is the big battleground. Let me recap what's going on and the terms and the confusing words. FPUC is the $6 for the federal government provided for you in the CARES Act, the first stimulus package. It provides $60 for the federal government every week that you're impacted by COVID-19 from March up until late July. It is not PUA, it's called FPUC. That's the $600 for the federal government. Then you have UI and you have PUA. UI is unemployment benefits for people who are employees, and PUA is pandemic unemployment assistance created in the first CARES Act for people who were laid off or impacted by COVID-19 and are independent contractors and solo practitioners. Next week, ostensibly, and I say ostensibly, FPUC expires. Someone in the comments yesterday said, oh, it doesn't expire until a few days later. No, that's not exactly how it works, because I've detailed that on this channel before. States don't pay benefits literally to the day. They pay them on a weekly basis depending on when they categorize their week of benefits ending. Each week has it differently. But most states, because of the way that the CARES Act was written, puts the expiration date of FPUC this coming week. So what I've implored you to do, and I'm going to say it right at the top of this video, I'm going to get right to it. If you qualify for FPUC, if you qualify for UI, if you qualify for PUA, get your application on file this week, right away. I mean, not even this week, today. You can, where you do it. So let me go through it with you. You go to your state's unemployment website, which is open 24 hours a day, and you apply. I want you to get on file. Why? There's so many reasons why. Okay, first, let me explain. FPUC is expiring, or the benefits of it is expiring next week. But UI and PUA are not expiring next week if you're already on them. What am I talking about? The way a lot of these plans work is if you are on them, you get the benefits and you get the benefits going forward. But if you're sitting on the sideline and you've never applied for the program and you're like, you know, maybe I'll go apply for that thing. I heard about it on a YouTube video. Well, if you wait too long, the window of when you can apply may be closed. That window to apply for...
Here's a simple passive income business that allows you to be free. You probably don't know about it, but let me tell you what you do know.
PUA is coming up to close. That window for extended benefits under UI is coming up to close if you have not already applied. How do you apply? Why do you apply? What are you eligible? Let me go through those details right away. UI and PUA are slightly different. First, you need to know what type of person you were in 2019. Well, namely, actually right before the pandemic hit. Were you an employee or were you an independent solo practitioner? If you are an independent solo practitioner, you are a PUA person. If you are an employee, you are a UI person. So the way you do is you go to state's unemployment website, you apply. If you are UI, you do the UI. If you are the PUA, then some states have it as one application, some of it has it as two separate applications. But what you have to understand for PUA is that you must apply for UI and get a denial for UI before you apply for PUA. First thing to understand. Second thing you gotta understand is UI and PUA are absolutely don't go hand in hand, don't go together. So every single day I have someone say, I'm on UI, can I switch over to PUA? No. I'm on PUA, can I switch over to UI? No. You cannot be one or the other. You can only be one. You cannot be both of them. You can only be one or the other. In fact, the way the PUA is written is you must be ineligible for UI to get PUA. So, and they will actually require you to go through that process. So an example is you're an electrician, you're self-employed, and you have to go into the state's unemployment website and say, hey, I am not an employee, I'm an electrician, I'm self-employed. Okay, you don't qualify for UI. Things I want you to remember are the following. When you're applying and you go through the application, God, there's so many things that are so important. I've been doing these videos forever. It feels like it's 2 months, but there's some things that are so important. And I know we have all these new viewers, about 10,000 per day. If you're new to this channel, like and subscribe. But boy, I want you to get this. Get a pen and paper and get ready to grasp all this. First of all, if you are impacted from the pandemic at a date earlier than today of watching this video and you're about to go apply for one of these things, then choose that date. Here's an example. Let's say your state issued a lockdown back in March. You went on lockdown, you couldn't run your business as an electrician. That lockdown has not been lifted. You're still on lockdown. Well, when you go to apply for what we're talking about today, don't list the date of impact as today. The date of impact is March. And so what you will ultimately get is what's called retroactive benefits. It means backwards and then up to the front. So if you, in this scenario, the electrician who was shut down in March is still shut down, then he would get March benefits all the way up to the present. Next, I need you to understand that the eligibility terms are very well defined. And in the case of PUA, there's...
Want a $2,500 website for free? Well, keep watching. If you're a business owner like me and you don't have weeks to spend...
One that you absolutely have to pay attention to. It says that you may be eligible if, as an independent contractor, let's say an electrician, you contracted COVID-19, pretty clear. Your family member contracted COVID-19, pretty clear. You're taking care of someone that contracted COVID-19, pretty clear. And listen to this one. Your work was either fully reduced to zero or partially reduced. Did you hear that? There's a word in there that says partial reduction or partially reduced. So that is grounds for eligibility for PUA. And you need to remember that. So for example, let's say you were issued a lockdown in your state as an electrician in March. You couldn't work for like 3 weeks, but then the lockdown was re-lifted. And then you just really didn't have a lot of work because of COVID-19. It has to be because of COVID-19. You only got 2 hours of jobs offered to you on a given week when you would normally work 50 hours a week. Well, then you may likely qualify for PUA every single week, even after the lockdown is lifted. That is one thing that is so great, and this is great news about the way the PUA is written. Now, why am I telling you the importance of getting this file now? Boy, it's a lot of reasons, so let me go over them with you. First, PUA is, PUA pays a certain number of weeks of benefits for every week that you're impacted by COVID-19 from the date that you start to the future. I said some of the videos was 39 or 33. I can't remember the number of days. So whatever it is, 33 or 39 weeks. So if you get on PUA right today and you're approved and you're ready to go, you could have those number of weeks going forward, 33, 39, whatever it is. That's great news. If you don't do this and you sit back and you were eligible and you don't do it, come August, PUA will expire if Congress doesn't extend it, and then we'll make it reinstituted. but you won't be on the old PUA. You'll have to wait around. Why wait around for something that you could be owed right now? That's the first thing. Second thing is UI benefits, employee benefits. They had something called FPEUC. This is what was called extended weeks of benefits under the CARES Act. As you know, as an employee on unemployment assistance, you have your normal weeks of benefits. Then your states during this pandemic have extended the number of weeks of benefits. That's called extended state benefits. Then the federal government in the CARES Act, the first stimulus package, extended the weeks of benefits further, called FPEUC, so there's more weeks of benefits. But, here's the but, if you sit around and don't apply for anything, even if you were eligible, you may not get all these benefits, or you'll have a lapse if you wait to apply for them in August. So just don't wait around. I don't mean that you have to be approved in the next week, but don't wait around.
There's a huge government scandal going on that I need your help with. I'm also going to share a loophole that I discovered into the government's billion-dollar slush fund that will pay you handsomely for your help. Here's what's going on and how you...
If you qualify for these things, apply now. I mean, that's the number one thing I always talk about all these videos. If you qualify for something, apply now. Do not wait 7 days, 5 days. Apply literally the day I'm talking to you about it. All right, $600 FPUC, that from the federal government. What's happening with that, and what happens when if you apply right today? So let me explain to you. FPUC goes on top of PUA and goes on top of UI. It's called FPUC. I mean, literally every single day that this channel has existed since we're now at like our 60th day or 70th day, people always say, I don't like that $600 a week from the federal government PUA. When is PUA that $600 get extended? That is not PUA. It's FPUC. FPUC is $600 from the federal government, not PUA. So PUA is on top of UI, is on top of PUA. I know I'm doing it myself as I'm really, the bugs are just like coming to Mitch and me like, Mitch. $600 from the federal government, FPUC, is on top of UI and PUA. It expires next week. Now, this is what you have to need to know. If you are if you apply to the system, you get into the system, that's good, because what's going to happen is the following scenarios. First, FPUC is likely to expire next week. I don't think that anything is going to happen. An act of Congress, an act of executive order from the White House, or an act of something from the Federal Reserve could extend FPUC immediately next week. I don't think it's going to happen. Could it get extended in late July, minutes before it expires? Sure. I don't think that's going to happen either. What I think is going to happen is it's literally going to expire, and then it'll become a battleground to be reinstituted in a second stimulus package, and will either pay those lapsed weeks of 2 or 3 weeks of benefits from late July to early August to those people who are already on it, or not at all, and just start it as a brand new program. I really do think it will pay those last 2 weeks. And finally, the last scenario is it could possibly get reduced from $600 to $400 or $300 per week. What is going on here? The Republicans don't...
I own an online Amazon dropshipping store that runs itself and spend most of my time doing what I love with who I love. And now it's your turn. If you're like me, you love the thought of having...
Like FPUC. Of all the stories that we do on a daily basis and the 6 videos we do per day, this thing is literally talked about morning, noon, and night by broadcast news. FPUC is talked about more often than, what's going on in the ESPN NBA bubble. I mean, it's talked about literally every minute. So we know it's a hot topic. And because it's a hot topic, I don't think it's going away. I don't think FPUC is going to go away, but I think it's going to get, changed somehow. And the Republicans are playing this bit, and I'm not being political, I'm telling you what they're doing, is they're relying their hat on a report that says that too many people are getting rich, that's their word, not my word, on unemployment benefits, and that they're getting 200 to 300% more than they would get when they were employed. The report claims that 2/3 of people on unemployment benefits, well, especially FPUC, are getting more than they got when they were employed, and that if we reduce the amount of FPUC, then about 60% of that problem will be fixed. I mean, that's what they're saying. I mean, I got to tell you what they're saying, but let me get to what's going on in Ohio, because this is really compelling. This is breaking news today about Ohio. So Ohio is going in the wrong direction and could become the next Florida. In Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine, who is a Republican, said Sunday that the level of COVID-19 cases is going in the wrong way. About 60% of Ohio is currently under a mask ordinance, but the number of cases have now passed 73,000 in their state as of Saturday. We're going the wrong way, he told me the press minutes ago. I don't think anyone in Ohio who watched what I've done over the last 4 months thought that, you know, I'll do what I need to do to protect Ohioans. He said we would certainly not rule out statewide. We're looking at a statewide lockdown. I mean, this is a Republican talking. This is not a Democrat. So this is really quite interesting as we go into a second stimulus package debate where some Republicans don't want to give you a lot of unemployment benefits. Here we have a Republican governor in a Republican state being ravaged by COVID-19 that says, I have to do things to protect my citizens. I have to make sure that my citizens are protected. COVID-19 is running out of control.
I swear to God, sometimes
I put in all my apps in like one day, and
not for nothing. It's how I be, and y'all sitting in on how I be. Sometimes Buddy just rambles so much. He doesn't get to the point of what I'm trying to hear. He goes into explanation of other things that don't pertain to me, particularly, and I listen for my own instance. But I got another person. Like I listen to 3 different aspects. That guy, that last guy, LA late. He's out of California. He does the most posts throughout the day. Walton and
good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hope you're having an amazing day.
Who is what's his name? Easy enough. Hustle bitch. Just type in hustle, the word hustle, cap, not all caps, but you know, capital letter. I'm sure if you write it anyway, it'll just show up. He's got 71,000 subscribers, and 2 words are separated. Hustle bitch. Odd name for this guy, but hey, it's all good. We're all about usernames anyway, right?
I'm back today with your brand new second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. We have a ton of new information to cover today. From Nancy Pelosi setting her ice cream down long enough to make some statements about unemployment benefits and the second stimulus check. Then we have Kim Kardashian, who moves 1 step closer to becoming the First Lady of the United States. Question for you: is being forced to wear a mask unconstitutional? We have Ivanka Trump telling us to go find something new. And finally, be sure to stick around to the end of this video as I'm giving away my $1,200 stimulus check to one of you. Before we jump into it, I just want to say a very sincere thank you to all of you who watched yesterday's video and gave it a like. As we discussed in that video, the information I'm providing to you is being suppressed and held back. So by you simply giving this video a quick thumbs up and liking it, this will help YouTube recommend the video. The more...
We know how that works. Algorithms. Yeah, thumbs up. And just while I'm talking about it, there's 2 more. There's an Asian dude and Afro-American dude. And the brother I listen to. But this guy, him, the Asian guy, and the black guy, they do their videos different than the last 2. Because they edit them. So, you know what I mean? They record things and then chop it up. The last 2, they just, you know what I mean, turn it on and speak. They do their research, but then they speak just in one setting. So, we're all good. All right, back to it.
People to see the truth that we're trying to uncover and expose when it comes to these dirty politicians and the games they're playing. the faster we will all receive our second stimulus checks. So admission is completely free here. The information you are about to receive comes from the hours of work that I put into researching every day and night in order to call out those who are working against the American people. To show your support, all it takes is liking this video by giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for considering it. The sky is blue. No, the sky is red. No, there is no sky. These are the types of conversations that are currently taking place between the House Democrats and the Senate Republicans. Since they could not even decide on whether to spend $1.3 trillion on the second stimulus package or $3 trillion, they just gave up on it, jumped on their private planes, and are enjoying the Caribbean sunsets on their paid vacation while still arguing about the colors.
Age 49 to 63 and not able to work? This message is for you. New rules.
As they see. Nancy Pelosi, who is of course the Speaker of the House, is finally bending to the will of others. Getting her to compromise on the enhanced unemployment benefits was like pulling teeth. This is the $600 per week extra payment to those who are collecting unemployment benefits. So now Nancy is open to extending payments after the July 31st cutoff, but of course $600 is too much for her. She wants to whittle down the amount of money that the folks without jobs receive. Meanwhile, she is eating ice cream that costs $13 a pint. She stores that ice cream in her $24,000 freezer that sits directly next to her $24,000 refrigerator. While the rest of America is struggling to afford basic groceries during a pandemic, Nancy Pelosi's priority is to keep her freezer fully stocked with expensive ice cream. She will replenish her gourmet ice cream stash even though she blocked the necessary $250 billion replenishment for the Paycheck Protection Program. The PPP saved millions of jobs all across the country before Nancy Pelosi froze it colder than her ice cream collection. If you haven't already seen the video of Nancy's extravagant ice cream and chocolate tour, leave a comment below and I will gladly shoot that video right over to you. In all fairness, Nancy is open to keeping the $600 per week payment in place, but if, and only if, the American people do not get a second stimulus check. She doesn't want the good people of this country to have their cake and eat it too. Or should we say ice cream? The funniest thing Nancy Pelosi said is that this isn't about politics. It's about putting money into the hands of the American people. 3, 2, 1. Putting money into the hands of the American people sounds great, Nancy. You have a net worth of $200 million, which is enough to give 166,000 people a stimulus check. Instead of taking away money for the people, either from the stimulus check or from the unemployment assistance, how about politicians like these take a 1-year pay cut and put all of that money into the hands of the American people? After all, it is the money of the American people to begin with, right? Speaking of unemployment, this was another record past week for folks filing for benefits. 1.3 million people in America applied for unemployment benefits just last week alone. This indicates that the economy is not rebounding as the White House wants to see. This data should...
A fucking $24,000 refrigerator? I need to see this. I didn't know it existed.
help support the need for a second stimulus check for the people of this country, just in case it wasn't already obvious enough. Now, we can't only single out Mrs. Pelosi. Mitch McConnell's ego would be bruised if we didn't mention his name in each video. After all, he's busy drafting up his Christmas list for the second stimulus package with his BFF, Stephen Mnuchin. We've referred to this dynamic duo as Beavis and Butthead, Laurel and Hardy, and Curly and Moe. We talked yesterday about how cheap these two fellas are, and now are hearing more examples. These guys are so cheap, they actually installed parking meters on their driveways. They are so cheap, they actually sell magazine subscriptions to the telemarketers. Stephen and Mitch are so cheap, They tried to sell advertising space on their eyeglasses. Remember, this Monday will be the big day where they reveal their second package blueprint for us all to see. With only $22 million in his account, I think Mitch is trying to catch up to Nancy's net worth, and that might be motivating him to finally get to work. Remember, the HEROES Act, that would give all of us another $1,200 stimulus check, has just been sitting on Mitch's desk, collecting dust for over 2.
What in the world causes people to act like this? Hi, I'm Rex Moore, and that's me at one of the many Berkshire Hathaway annual meetings I've attended in
About the
Omaha.
most intelligent thing you've said in my broadcast.
Sometimes push people
Welcome,
over when
sir.
the doors
Good to
open
see you alive.
and shop.
Months now, many people called for action from the Senate Republicans, urging McConnell to get to work. Senator Lindsey Graham even suggested to his fellow politicians that they needed to, quote, get off our ass and get this done. Instead of doing so, they chose to sit on their asses, take paid vacations, and push the American people further into debt, dependence, and despair. Speaking of getting to work, have you heard about Ivanka Trump's new idea? She's promoting her new ad campaign, which is called Find Something New. Here's the gist of it. Do you have skills that you've acquired over all of the years you were working? Are you on unemployment benefits? Are you unable to find a job right now? Maybe you're just unhappy with your career. Well, don't you worry. Just listen to Donald Trump's daughter and just find something new. Yep. Ivanka wants to encourage the people of America to ditch their skill set, stop worrying about finding work, and just go out and pick up a new skill. You can do it. Thanks, Ivanka. Now, here's how sad the game of politics truly is. While all of the good people of the United States are being good little boys and girls, waiting patiently for a little bit of money for rent and for food, the politicians think this is all just a game. The Democrats actually are boasting that they are victorious over the Republicans. They are acting like they just won the Super Bowl or something, just because the Republicans changed their mind about wanting a second stimulus package. At first, the Republicans were against the idea of a second package, but now are in favor of it, and by doing so, it's making the Democrats inflated with pride and ego. What's even more sad is instead of arguing about how much more money the people should receive, Congress continues to fight over how little to give us. Along with the size of the second stimulus check, there will need to be help for schools reopening. If schools want to be rewarded for reopening, as White House Economic Council advisor Larry Kudlow suggested, it will be very costly to comply with all of the virus pandemic requirements. This is one of the reasons we're already seeing schools turn to the internet to hold online courses instead of opening up their physical locations. Other schools are letting the parents decide whether to send their kids back to a public classroom environment or to select the online studies. I know many of you who are watching this video have children of your own. I'm curious to know if you feel that your kids will be safe returning back to school, or if you will prefer to keep them at home for now. One politician certainly is catching more heat than the rest right now. That man is Brian Kemp. He is the governor of the state of Georgia. Brian Kemp forbids cities and counties of Georgia from requiring masks. This, of course, is while virus cases surge in his state. Mr. Kemp believes it is unconstitutional to force citizens to wear a mask. And he is not alone with his beliefs, as Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry also stated that it is unconstitutional and unenforceable to make people wear masks against their free will. Do you agree with this or disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Switching gears here, we heard the news that Kanye West is officially running for president. The 43-year-old rapper and fashion designer announced his decision to run for president of the United States on July 4th. Since then, Mr. West has taken it one step further. Kanye West filed the Kanye 2020 Presidential Committee document with the Federal Election Commission. By doing so, he is confirming he is moving forward with his 2020 bid to become President of the United States. Kanye filed his Statement of Candidacy document, and get this, his party affiliation name is BDY, which stands for Birthday Party. His committee's name is also listed on the document document as Kanye 2020. So this is actually very real. The Statement of Candidacy document is filed only after someone has triggered candidacy status. This means that Kanye West has already raised more than $5,000 through campaign activity. This also means his run to become POTUS is legit. For those of you who have complained about Melania Trump since 2017, you may now have to decide if you'd rather see her continue as the First Lady of our country, or instead see Kim Kardashian move into the White House with Kanye West. So, moving on, Monday is going to be a very telling day. We will finally hear anything about the second stimulus package from the Senate. This will determine whether we will receive the one-time $1,200 second stimulus check as it was passed by the House. If not, it might perhaps be one of the other many options we've been discussing on each video. The good news, however, is that if in fact the second bill is passed by July 31st, we can expect to receive a second stimulus payment sometime in August. If you can't wait until August for the U.S. Treasury to fire up the old printing press and send out another check, you should consider subscribing to this channel. We're growing quickly and are heading fast towards 100,000 subscribers. Once we pass that mark, I will personally be giving away my own stimulus payment for $1,200. It's you and I against the U.S. Treasury, and I want us to beat them. I truly appreciate you choosing to take time out of your busy day to watch, like, comment, and subscribe to the videos I publish, and I would like to repay my thanks. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel and let's get you the money you deserve. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Have an awesome day.
See if I can't find it.
Here's $100,000. Wait, I can give you this $100 grand, or I can teach you how to make this every single month. You see, this is exactly what I made in my...
Thank you all for coming back to my channel for your stimulus check and stimulus package update.
That's Walter. This guy.
This is your second stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Monday, July 20th. This is your stimulus update, and happy Monday. The good news is that the Senate, they are back in session today. The senators are working again. Let's take a look at what's going on the Republican side. The Republican team, when it comes to the stimulus package, is led by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. McConnell is finalizing the Republican demands for the next stimulus package in a meeting this morning with President Trump, with the Republican leader of the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy, with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. After that meeting, McConnell will unveil the game plan to senior Republicans at the Republican leadership meeting today, later in the afternoon. The rest of the Republicans, they will get the details tomorrow. The public, so you and I, will get this information sometime in the middle of this week. After all the Republicans are updated on the game plan, then they will proceed to negotiations with the Democrats for the next stimulus package.
We'll figure out something next
month. The senators, they will have until August 7th to get this done, to get the stimulus package passed, because after that they return to vacation.
Yeah.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Nancy Pelosi and other politicians, they have offered to stay past the August 7th deadline to get something passed if it doesn't pass by then. But the Senate leader Mitch McConnell, he said that he is not altering the schedule, so they need to get it passed by then.
This is the tentative schedule for unveiling of the Republican plan. It's open to change. However, that's what they have on the books, on their schedule, so it will most likely play out this way. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and President Trump went on Twitter this morning, and Mnuchin said that they will pass the stimulus package by the end of July. Again, they have until August 7th, but he keeps insisting that they will pass it by July 31st. Mnuchin also said that they will pass the extension of the unemployment benefits, and they will make sure that people do not make more money staying at home than they were working at their job. It will most likely be an extension of the federal unemployment benefits of $200 to $400 a week. That is down from the current $600 a week. However, the Republicans, they keep insisting that the unemployment benefits will be based on how much a person was making previously at their job. The Republican plan is expected to include a second stimulus check and new tax credits for the self-employed and small businesses. Steven Mnuchin said this morning that there will be tax credits for people getting back to work, and there will also be tax credits for businesses creating a safe work environment. Mitch McConnell, he wants to give 5 years of liability protection for schools, businesses, and medical personnel. President Trump said yesterday that the stimulus package needs to include liability protection for businesses that reopen. Trump says we need these protections because businesses are going to get sued just because somebody walked in. They'll sit down at a restaurant, they'll sue the restaurants, and put them out of business. Mnuchin said this morning that they want to prevent frivolous lawsuits. The leader of the Democrats in the Senate, Chuck.
No, businesses are at risk to be sued because of the governor, the mayor, the state deciding whether or not to close the business, and a worker losing their job due to it, or in addition catching COVID. That would fall on at the job, in my opinion. It will be grounds to sue. But let's listen.
Chuck Schumer is accusing the Republicans of trying to grant legal immunity to negligent businesses and failing to take reasonable steps to avoiding the spread of the virus. The leader of the Democrats in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, is accusing the Republicans of trying to grant legal immunity to negligent businesses and failing to take reasonable steps to avoiding the spread of the virus. The Republican proposal is expected to have a fraction of what the Democrats are requesting for state and local government assistance. The Democrats, they're looking for $1 trillion of state and local aid. The American Federation of Teachers warns that there are 1.4 million public education jobs at risk if there is no funding for state and local governments in this upcoming stimulus package. The Republicans, they do not want to give any more money to state and local governments. Instead, the Republicans, they would rather loosen the restrictions of what state and local governments can use their money on from the previous stimulus package, the CARES Act, since there is still money left over from that previous stimulus package. Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer is complaining that Mitch McConnell did not take the Democrats into consideration when drafting the Republican side of the proposal. Schumer said McConnell is wasting valuable time. He said that McConnell wants to prioritize corporate special interest and will fail to adequately address the worsening spread of coronavirus situation. So there's a lot of tension right now between the Republicans and Democrats. A lot of the details will be developing this week since they are back in session. Now let's take a look at the COVID-19 situation. The situation is worsening. The 7-day rolling average of new infections rose 41 days in a row on Sunday. There are now more than 50 hospitals in Florida that have ran out of ICU bed capacity. President Trump is trying to remove billions of dollars in funding for COVID-19 testing in the next stimulus package, he thinks that the money can be better spent elsewhere. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin claims that we'll have a vaccine before the end of the year. The medical community is saying that it's very optimistic. Many cities, such as my city, Chicago, are reinstating restrictions, especially on bars, restaurants, spas, and salons. These renewed restrictions go into effect in Chicago on July 24th. That's the news for today. Please subscribe and I'll keep you updated. I will save you time and I will give you any advice when applicable. Thank you so much and please stay safe.
Smyrna is like very outgoing, compassionate.
See, he's pretty much to the point. He really doesn't pass his personal opinion. He doesn't, you know, interject jokes or anything like that. Pretty cut and dry. One other guy. And this is what I do, and I've been doing for quite some time.
Welcome back, you guys. This is your stimulus package update. This is your second stimulus check update for Sunday.
This is Ron Yates, like Ron Jeremy, Ron Yates, Y-A-T-E-S, 75,000 subscribers, and all YouTubers.
July 19th. So let's get into your stimulus updates today. So in this video, we're going to cover several different things, including the latest updates on unemployment interest.
Pardon. Hold on, he said July 19th.
Welcome back, you guys. This is your stimulus package update. This is your second stimulus check update for Monday, July the 20th. So let's get into your stimulus updates today. Now, today is the first day back from recess for the Senate. So in this video, we're going to cover the latest updates on the $1,200 and possibly $2,000 checks, the plans that Congress has in terms of negotiations for the new stimulus package, and I'll be sharing several key dates that you want to pay close attention to. Also, for those of you guys who haven't received your first stimulus checks, I'll be covering some tips on what you can do to possibly get those first stimulus checks rolling in. And for those of you guys who missed out on the EIDL grant and advance money, I want you guys to know that the SBA is still accepting applications for the EIDL loans, so at least that opportunity is still available for you. I've got a lot of stuff I want to cover with you guys today, but before we get into it, I just want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. And for all you guys who are brand new here, we cover all things personal finance, investing, how to make more money, and how to generate multiple streams of income. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. Today's July 20th, and today is the first day back from recess for the Senate, and several top Republicans in Congress are expected to meet with President Trump today. Now, according to Mitch McConnell, this new bill is expected to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 trillion, and McConnell said he'd like it to be the last stimulus package that the federal government passes in response to this pandemic. Now, if that holds true, then we better see some pretty good goodies in that package, right? But we don't have much time for negotiations because there's technically only 10 business days left until, you guessed it, yet another long recess break. But this time, the next recess break would be for the House of Representatives. We might have a little bit more time if the recess for the House was delayed. Now, that's a card that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi could play, as she did say that she would delay recess if a stimulus bill is still being negotiated. But McConnell hasn't said if he would do so when the Senate is scheduled to finish working August 7th. Now, August 7th is a key date that we want to focus on. The amount of progress made with regard to negotiations leading up to the date will give us a hint as to when we can expect the next stimulus package. Now, if no decision is made, we'll likely be looking at somewhere around September at the earliest, so we obviously don't want to do that. So this next 2 weeks will be crucial that we see big strides made between legislators and the White House. Now, the big difficulty between the primarily Democrat-led House of Representatives and the Republican-led Senate is expected, but divisions between the Senate GOP majority and the White House only add to the challenges. McConnell has been secretly building a brand new stimulus package for weeks, and is expected to include $75 billion to help schools reopen. Additionally, he's supposed to include reduced unemployment benefits as well as a second round of $1,200 cash payments to Americans and an all-inclusive 5-year liability of protections against virus-related lawsuits for businesses, schools, and hospitals. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that the next relief bill will cost at least $1.3 trillion at a minimum, and still argues that even $1.3 trillion would not be enough to properly address the fallout that was caused by the pandemic. Now, I've got good news and I've got bad news here. The good news is that there's added urgency in pulling a stimulus package together quickly. But the bad news is that the urgency comes from the country hitting a spike recently with new virus cases. Several states have already responded to this by pausing their reopening efforts, and in some cases reversing them altogether. Now, of course, anything that delays businesses from reopening and reaching their full capacity will put pressure on Congress to counterbalance this impact with more stimulus. These are the most critical reasons for the urgency in passing the next stimulus package. Now, if this wasn't enough, we've got $600 per week enhanced federal unemployment insurance benefits that were provided by the CARES Act stimulus package about to expire at the end of this month. Now, while the SBA is still accepting new applications for the EIDL loans, the EIDL grants and advance money has been exhausted. Many businesses have already run through their stimulus money, and the Treasury has already distributed the majority of those payments to individuals. Most people have already gotten their stimulus checks, basically. So, we're starting to hear talks about refunding the EIDL grants and advances allocation with this next stimulus package. Now, if this happens, this will be the second time that this program has been refunded. But, let's just see what happens in the coming week. Now, the biggest headwinds that I see us facing in the coming days are that any deal will have to come to an agreement on several key elements, including the second stimulus check amounts and how frequently are we going to be seeing these stimulus checks? Is it going to be one time or, monthly? Aid to state and local governments that includes refunding or providing the funding to help schools be able to reopen. Then you've got the unemployment benefits and initiatives for businesses to hire, and a new type of grant program for small businesses, perhaps maybe another round of grants similar to the EIDL program, but hopefully juicier and a little bit faster this time. And last but not least, a payroll cut. President Trump said that he would consider not signing a fourth round of virus relief funding if it does not include a payroll tax cut. So that almost sounds like a threat to me. So I think that's going to have to be in there for this to work. Now, last week, a team of top economists wrote a letter collectively explaining their argument behind the need for monthly recurring payments for the American people until we get this pandemic under control. There were data points collected from the recent economic reports like unemployment and job reports, and they compared this with historical economic periods to support their argument.
Just imagine the perfect small business that you could start. What would that look like? You'd be able to work from home. You wouldn't have to rent expensive.
Real quick. I mean, it's simple. If the coronavirus is spiking, we're having record numbers that we didn't have before. And they put all this in play, stimulus and all that, because of the virus, initially. What the fuck is the sense in cutting it off while the virus is 2 going on 3 times worse than what it was originally? Make it make fucking sense. Makes no sense. And I also like to interject personally, bullshit, whatever Mitch McConnell or any fucking Republicans talking about Nancy, any of them. I make more at work than this shit. Fuck out of here. Pull 12, 13, 14 a week. FPU 6, state 1 something, 2, that's 8, 7 something. It's not even a fucking 1,000. So And I haven't received my first stimulus check. Nope. Never seen that. Additionally, just from a parental standpoint, through this entire COVID situation, me and my family been huddled. We've been in our own bubble. We good. We good that way. Every 14 days, check, and nobody's under the weather. We all good. That works. So to take a pay cut for my family's safety, no problem. But now, that's my decision. It's our decision. But now, cut off this little bullshit they giving, or cut down on the bullshit they're giving. And it's almost as if, it's a fuck almost. It would be politics forcing people out of their safe bubbles to go catch fucking COVID-19. And I've had family members and close friends deal with this. I don't really have any interest in dealing with it more than I already have. So the fuck sticks that run this divine country figure that the fuck out. Because I'm sure it's not just me. They've got some friends that that's the same exact fucking situation for. If you choose and want to fucking stay safe, it's just the same right that you have to choose for who the fuck runs this country, whether you vote or not. Yeah. Back to it, shall we?
And it's been months since we've heard discussions about the $2,000 per month stimulus check proposal, but Democratic Senator from the state of California, Kamala Harris, hasn't given up. Now, Harris was interviewed on MSNBC recently where she made another attempt to push to gain support for a recurring $2,000 per month second stimulus check. Now, here's a quote directly from Kamala Harris. Together with Bernie Sanders and Ed Markey, I'm proposing that we have not just that one-time check of $1,200. Now, I don't personally feel that there's a strong chance of seeing monthly stimulus payments of $2,000, but it is a legitimate proposal, and it's certainly worth discussing since a team of top economists for the United States is also pushing for some sort of monthly recurring payments for American people with a hefty, very hefty amount of data to back up their claims. Now, Mitch McConnell, Larry Kudlow, and Steve Mnuchin have each stated that this next stimulus package will be much more targeted. The government already makes regular payments to individuals now, so I don't think it's too unrealistic to see, or at least to think, that targeting a small segment of Americans that have been hit the hardest with some sort of recurring payments, maybe not necessarily the $2,000 per month, but maybe some smaller amount of monthly stimulus payments is not impossible. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. Now, based on the comments in my previous videos, I'm pretty sure that there are a ton of you guys who still have not yet received your first stimulus check payments. Now, most people received a $1,200 stimulus check, but married couples with 2 children could have received $3,400. Now, since the pandemic started, many people are going hungry, unable to pay bills, unable to pay for food due to a lack of money.
Hey, are you awake? I know how hard it can be. Sometimes just getting out of bed is a hassle. You feel tired, fatigued, a little lethargic. You don't really feel like getting up. Maybe you hit the snooze.
And an extra stimulus check would be very helpful right now in their time of need. Now, the government said that they would be sending out 171 million stimulus payments back in March. But even that number, when it was first released, it was believed that that number seemed a little bit low. Even as of now, it's estimated that somewhere between 30 and 35 million people are still waiting on a stimulus check as of now. And now, out of that 30 to 35 million people who are still waiting, about half of them are people who filed taxes and make less than the income thresholds listed by the CARES Act. You've got about 8 million people who haven't received their stimulus checks, and most of them are the beneficiaries of Social Security or railroad retirement benefits. and they don't even file taxes. Millions of people who receive supplemental security income or Veterans Administration benefits do not file tax returns. And then there's the last group of people that make up the nearly 11 million people who don't file tax returns and don't receive federal government benefits. Of course, there's a lot of you guys who file the paper tax returns so that you can get your stimulus checks, but the IRS has already confirmed that they've got about 4 or 5 million tax returns that they have not gotten around to looking at yet, and most of those are paper tax returns. So if you normally don't file tax returns and you have not gotten your stimulus check, you have to use the IRS non-filer tool on the website to get your money. If you normally file tax returns and have not yet received your stimulus check, you can try calling the IRS. I'll leave their phone number in the description down below. But if you don't receive your money this year, you'll receive it when you file your 2020 tax return next year in 2021. The fact that some people have not been getting their stimulus checks has been a known issue for a long time now, but finally the politicians have it back. Over 100 members of the House of Representatives have reached out to the IRS to ask them to resolve these issues that are preventing Americans from receiving their first stimulus checks. There are so many reasons why people have not received their first stimulus checks, including from being improperly withheld payments, improperly marking people as being ineligible to receive stimulus payments, and some people have just not received their stimulus payments because the IRS website is just crappy. Now, in one of the letters written by the congressman to the IRS, it reads, "We have several constituents who are facing increased..."
Sorry. But that brought about the fucking IRS's website is crappy. That's a fact I'm dealing with. But the funny thing and the irony in it, the IRS, federal government, they were the ones that had the internet, what, 10 years before us? And they have shitty websites, really? No, I think they have shitty websites intentionally. Chad J 79, hello, what up? Is that Chad Chadu, Canadian Chadu, from the Chad that I know from when this first started? Is that you? If so, what up, what up? Let me get back to it.
Financial hardship as the pandemic continues and are still waiting for their EIP or waiting for an error in the EIP to be resolved. While the IRS claims that all issues may be ultimately resolved with 2020 tax filings in the next calendar year, for many of our constituents that wait is simply untenable.
Okay.
Now I hope that between the tips that I've just provided you guys on how you may be able to help yourselves get your first stimulus checks.
So, believe it or not, this bench is what started the $7.5 million I made
all good.
Office list.
How you doing?
Because I would sit there and I would stare at the corporate office that laid me off.
Would you?
And the letters written by our congressmen and women that those of you guys who haven't received your first stimulus checks will see one hit your mailbox or your bank account via direct deposit pretty soon. Well, that's all for this video, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end of this video. And if you found any value in this video, please give this video a like. It really lets me know that the information I shared with you guys today was helpful. And I'll be keeping you guys updated on all the latest news and tips on how to grow your income and to develop multiple streams of income. And, you know, if you guys haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Again, that was Ron Yates.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hope you're having an amazing...
It's war on Canada, man. It's war on Canada, that's all it is, man. Listen. Deep down, I'm not really Canada at heart. That's all it is. But shout out to Chef and the TMGs, you know what I mean? Those are my true Canadians, man. True and true, tested and all that. We all good. I don't know what it is, but are you from Canada? Let's see what this person's talking about.
What's up, guys? Ryan here with a second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update for Sunday, July 19th. In this stimulus update, we'll discuss why the $2,000 per month stimulus check is coming back into the spotlight and the possibility of that happening. I'd also give you the latest updates we have from Democrats and Republicans in Congress, and also the latest from Steven Mnuchin. Apparently, there's a civil war in the White House, and people are clashing over the next stimulus package. So let's get into all the details right after you please hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so I can update you on everything regarding the stimulus package
in the White
and
House.
second stimulus check, plus more money and finance news. So let's start with the good news. The Senate finally goes back in session tomorrow, July 20th, after the 2-week recess.
Yesterday.
And Senator Mitch McConnell said that once we go back into session next week, I'll begin socializing, internalizing, if you will, discussions that I've had during this week off with my members. Then he continues to say, this new package will be front and center that will dominate our time starting next week. Finally, it's about time. We've been waiting for this for a long time now. I want to quickly address the $2,000 per month idea that Senator Kamala Harris brought up again in an interview on MSNBC, where she said, through the course of this pandemic and crisis, we need to give people $2,000 a month as recurrent payments to people below a certain income level to help them and sustain them through these months of crisis, so at the end of it they can get back up on their feet instead of falling deep into the crevices of this crisis. So here's the thing, this is very nice and all, but there's no chance of it happening. For her to bring it up again is mostly just politics at this point. The Republicans were originally against another single payment of $1,200, and now they're...
And honestly, I'm just going to pause Buddy here. I don't subscribe to him, but he's somebody I like. I've heard him one other time. Just overall, doesn't sound good. From 5 different perspectives of speakers on one topic, I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and summarize. Doesn't seem like there's any positive resolve as of just yet. But hey, it's all just opinion. Superman, what's going on, sir? Cool it. We're just on our Mundane Mondays. This is what I normally do before I even jump up on here a lot of times, and then just chop it up with y'all about certain situations. But I don't know. Sounds to me like all the speakers, you know, and I understand it because they're tired. These people, these guys put up non-stop videos since the thing started. So without seeing any change thus far, yeah, I understand their approach, but nothing has happened except, you know, the usual, us having to wait. That's what we've always had to do. That's what we've been doing. Us having to survive. Us having to maintain. The government and your state financially never really had any play in that. For some of us, yeah. If you collect if you're collecting your pension or something to that effect, okay. Disability, okay. Unemployment, okay. But if you're already getting unemployment, disability, and what have you, nothing's changed in that. They can't stop giving you what they were already giving you before COVID showed up. But overall, it's the first time I've seen him recognizably to and through, like, for the country, not a state or not another country, that our country, we have needed to show up to our own rescue. And that is something we've needed to do for quite some time. It's a sad state of affairs that we're in, no matter how you want to look at it, due to some sickness, some virus, due to the civil war that's taking place. Nobody really wants to acknowledge, because that civil war has been here. We're just a bit more voicey about it these days. And since it's we're in an era where everybody's voice can be heard, more so than before, ever before, we got a lot of problems, got a lot of effed up things over the airwaves. But so that's holding us all back as well, because that civil war leads out to the politicians, the lawmakers, the police, everybody. It's a part of this system, it's a part of this country. I do not have the answers except what I tell you at the end of every one of my streams. Stay safe, stay smart, stay up. I don't just throw it out there like you could really spend time in either one of those things that I say. I do. But I also say you don't have to be like me. Say, alright, be yourself. Be a better you. But it's really past me and you. But in order for there to be change, you have to be the change that you envision. If we're not being that, then there will be no change. Anytime soon. And even if there was the start of change, oh man, you know how long that's going to take before we see an actual effect? It's not going to be an overnight thing. We already see how much a movement's been hijacked overnight. Notice that? It's died down, got a little quiet. No political talks of restitution, reparation, nothing. Just, oh well, that happened. They bigged up homeboy. And there's still more violent things happen. It's just the news is sparingly covering it because it's so abundant. Some hot. Everybody says so. It's hot where you at? It's hot out there. You know, tensions run high when the heat's up. Oh. But again, money make a lot of these problems go away. But now what we're hearing, I mean, if you just listen in like I did, it would seem as if the winning side of the government is not for the people that it seems like that's winning the argument or the war is not for giving anybody. They're not on board with giving anyone any money. In fact, they want to cut back on it. It's a shame. All that says is they're okay with us dying. But what else is new news? You know what I mean? You look like Method Man, fam. I get that a lot. I mean, I get that a lot. If not Method Man, Red Man. If not Red Man, somebody else. I get that. Met him. Method Man. I didn't feel like I was staring into a mirror or anything, but I got the vibes on how people get that. All good. Just as you predicted, Alexander, there's been some pretty tough things to see, and the underbelly of the country's disgusting side exposed. Yeah, I see all that, the arrest and whatnot, catching some of that. But that age-old conversation we've had that I sparked up with you politically, all while my grandmother raised me not to argue with people about politics, and we haven't argued yet. That of, you know what I mean, the country taking forever to address matters. That factor. Matters that would have been addressed and things would have been resolved. I wait patiently to see that. Haven't lost my mind on the matter. In fact, the only thing I lost was my page. But still don't see it. And now with even 5 people, 5 to 6, 7 people, different people's perspective, who submerge themselves in that world and all that, like 3 of them, they're flipping through papers. Like, these guys are putting in their work. They're not just, you know. And that's why I listen to multiple people to see if anybody's changing the narrative or anything. And, you know, it's all the same. It looks very grim for the people. But there is that glimmer of belief and hope that, you know, hey, it's voting season. And, you know, people don't want to lose their jobs. So they're going to pull off some, you know, let us get them down to, grind them all the way down to despair, the last bit of despair. And then, boom, here you go. You know, the Saviors Act. And, yeah. Who knows? 2,000 every other week. Huh. Because 2,000 a month still ain't knocking down the doors around here. Not when I single-handedly can bring in $1,400 within a week. It's not saying anything. Ooh, 2,000 a month. 2,000 a month. I'll say it would cover rent. Rent 17. You know, we'd have $300 extra dollars to, I don't know. Food, yeah, food. That's right. We gotta eat. But Yeah, this plan that they've pushed out, maybe, and I wouldn't doubt it, some people are getting rich or getting by without worry, or getting by better than what they were before. Hoorah! Somebody's doing good with all this. All right. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. That's good to hear. But when you listen, there's millions of people. Not 300,000, not almost a million. There's fucking millions. Millions of people who haven't received diddly squat. Kaploop. Nothing. Kaputski. Zip, zilch, zero. Nada. But in my lifetime thus far, I've seen them save big businesses 3 times, 4 times. 3-4 times. And they give them the big bucks. They give them the big dollars. They talking fucking goddamn peanuts and a free drink when it comes to the people. They get a big company, man. Here's a whole fucking restaurant with some workers that are willing to keep the business going. Kind of money. An entire fucking banquet with servants and valet parking. The people, peanuts, and your choice of a free drink. Now there goes the good old country I've always known. Government, rather. You gotta know where to draw the line. But there you have it. Hey Google, play some chill out study beats.
Okay, playing chill study beats 6 instrumental hip hop mix 2019 on YouTube Music.
You're awesome. But first, a commercial from Sour Pouch. Hey Google, turn up 2 levels. It was a commercial from the Sour Patch Kids. The Sour Patch, fucking sitting here burning that. Right. None of them spoke about these other proposals. And I would assume because, they down, like I said, these, they've been putting those videos out day after day in, day out without, they don't take days off. And without bias as well. You know what I mean? Just an overall look at what the hell's going on. America shows up to its own rescue. As it's always promoted in movies and all that. And as it being down to the last only thing it needs to do that it hasn't done. Exactly. Almost wanted to laugh at the reality of that truth. That's what I was going to say. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get this perspective on television. CNN is not going to give you that. Fox is not going to give you that. ABC News is not going to give you that. I don't give a damn who you listen to for mainstream television. They're not going to give you that perspective and in that amount of time. Let me break that down. Each person didn't take up, I don't think, more than 15 minutes. CNN, Fox News, they could give you that. They could give you they could elect one of them, one of their own like that. Well, here's the real hardball breakdown. Non-biased opinion. Nah, you don't get that. You get, we rock with the Democrats, we rock with the Republicans, we rock with the Democrats, we rock with the Republicans. We are just talking about what's going on, kind of like, you get almost some of this sometimes. You know. Nah. Well, one and done. That's why I don't listen. That's why, and hence why I don't listen to freaking mainstream media, news. I don't check in on them on the day-to-day programming, because the day-to-day programming got you rigged for one side, recruited for one side or the other. And they'll tell you their team wants, you know, to win, but it's the other team that just won't have it because of this one and that one. And all the while, everybody on all them teams, millionaires. Fuck you mean? Who ain't here got M's? If you do, you're very humble, and that's what's up. But I'm assuming strongly, I'm chilling with the 99%. I know people with M's. I'm chilling with the T squad. You know, there's thousands. And those that keep it 100 as well. But what is it? The Nancy chick, she got a $24,000 refrigerator. How why? Why? Why is a refrigerator like less than $10,000 from a souped up fucking race car? Price of a race car. You know, base level. But the souped up version. If I had M's, we'd have M's turn. Likewise. Ditto. I played the lottery. Oh man. What it would look like. You get an M. Right? 200,000. You know what I mean? You could do something with that, right? Just cause I want to give this away and allocate, because I know what I need. I know what I've been doing thus far. Yeah, we're good. So I know what I could use and what I could afford to not have or give away. No shit, I'd love to hit the lottery and give away some of my money. Some other things I'd love to do with the money. But I'd love to be in a position to give some people some money like that. If only I were rich for a day. Sounds like a good, nice short film or something. Feel obligated. Like it was my duty. Like, hold on, wait. I just hit the lottery for 79 million? And I get half of that. Alright, yeah, we're gonna take the big cut. Tax free, all that. Take your money. Alright, wait, we done? Shit. I got 25 million? Hey, do something with the 5. You know what I'm saying? Find 5 good friends, you know what I mean? Hey man, you ain't even know it. Check it out. Ding. But I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. You said enough. A thank you will suffice. It paid off being a true friend. Sick. I'm sick with it. That's why. Jay, you look desperate. And technically speaking, we all dying of something, right? And we all gotta die. A little, congestion. I don't know. I might have caught a cold or something. I don't know. Thanks, Jay. I didn't know you actually was like, you know what I mean? A doctor or a physician of some sort of. Jay. If it was a two-way street, I can tell you how you look too. But look at that. Did you see it? Jackpot. But I have to tell you, I'm officially conservative and reserved with my energies, so I'm my own doctor. I have been quite some time, but we're good. Everything's good. You know what it is? Let me help you out while you are. Just that grandpa wake up, mid-afternoon nap look. You know what I mean? Just a cup of mud. That's all. And might I ask, how's your day going, Jay? OG23. It's not my first time seeing your username in here or around. How's your day going, sir? How's your week starting off? Let's see, Going around giving sideline physician checkups and shit. That's cool. That's cool. But you got it misread over here. We're good. You missed out. In this very stream, I was saying how me and my family, we've all remained in our bubble and everybody's been healthy throughout this COVID thing. So yeah, don't scare me like that. Oof. Being that you're a physician and everything. But if you don't mind, I'll get a second opinion. I'll get a second opinion, like, you know. And additionally, just how it happened to go about. Thanks for the laughter. Thanks. We needed some laughter. Everything was pretty, like, you know, almost dark and shit. But you know, that's politics. There hasn't been a bright side to politics as of just yet, and that's what we're talking about. So, we're talking about the sickness that plagues our country and all that. Would you like to chime in on that, or not? We got 3 minutes, man, till closing. Figure I turn on some chill hops, kind of just, you know what I mean, cool down the jets and the generators that we want. Because politics can get people, you know, ramped up. So again, thanks for the laughter. It's an us thing, but you initiated it. There was a lot going on there. Damn, I'm late. Fashionably late, sis. It's alright. Better late than never. Heard that somewhere along the lines. Jay's a little, he might be, I don't know, under the weather as far as texting, but how are you doing? How's your week started off? And how was your weekend? Sis, girl got game. You balling ass femme fatale. You got a trailer. Hit me with the no-look pass. I'm just gonna get a layup, you know what I mean? Regular layup. I'll salute you in the room. There goes an entry. Now, sis, you've been in my streams a lot. I said I was gonna get a second opinion. You're not a doctor, but do I seem sick to you? I'm also just kind of like sick with it. And I know you sick right now. So I probably look super healthy. I don't know, I was just trying to work with Jay here. You know, Jace is my middle name. You gotta put the CE on there. Oh yeah. You look tired, fam, no cap. There you go. That's what I said. I'm waking up after my midday grandpa nap, you know, I'm probably a little fatigued, burn. You mix in the high and, well, you know, what we've been burning. Sour Patch Kids. And, I mean, just the reality of these factors, you know, some Cushmans. Pinky's advice. Or it could have been the lemon tree. It could have been a, you know what I mean, a combination of all that. But I've only burnt like 2-3 blunts. I don't know. Any old way. Mundane Mondays coming to a rest. And it's all good. Jay he's a doctor or some sort or whatever. And he was like, Jay, you gotta come around a little bit more often, man. Embody the hell out of this little. It's just fatigue. It's just fatigue. Son of Silk. Now there goes a good political brother, man about his knowledge. What's good, fam? Hope everything's going good today. Everything is going good. We're going well. Off to a good start. About to close the door. Alright. Guys, twisting my arm here. I'll roll another. We can chop it up for another half. Why not? Jay, you still with us? I honestly don't know, man. How's your day, man? You alright? Everything good? Let me see what we got. Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me. It's a whole nother freaking 2 raps, unopened raps back there, and this. I'll sit here for another, how many hours, but one more. The 2 hours passed pretty quick on politics. Let us spend some time on our vibes. That's what the people want, them. Damn, the politics and the worldly issues and shit. Fuck all that. I know, right? Glad to hear. See, you got some nice treats over here. Yeah. Cool. Little things to keep the mind right and lungs off the peripheral gate. I mean, we good. We good like that. I mean, there's other shit here too, I ain't sure. But just, that's what I keep reaching for constantly, but I don't even, sometimes I do. Look at which one I want to unroll. Sometimes I just grab one of the canisters, yeah, it's all good, so it don't even matter. But I'll look and be like, okay, I'm burning a lot of this one, the lemon tree or the Sour Patch Kids, damn, we can almost see the bottom. Let's slow off on that. What we got here? Damn, we ain't been smoking Pinky's Advice. Let's get some of that. And that's it. Myself well elevated when I'm here with y'all, you know what I mean? So, how was everybody's weekend? Experienced the weekend, right? So it was good, it wasn't so good, laid back, chill. Spent time with my family, spent time in deep thought about a lot of things. Spent some time in some good streams. Didn't look for spending time with the dramatics of anything or the drama. Played my game, spent time on that. Yeah, and didn't spend time trying to spin or stir the pot. Some things I did. No drinking. See? What is this? Pinky's advice. Like, I'm really not showing Pinky's advice too much love. Like, there's that, and then this whole blunt still in here. Yeah. Some of Pinky's advice. Pinky's advice has been helping. Deadass, when I picked it up, I was hope I get in touch with Pinky somehow, whoever the hell Pinky is, and, you know what I mean, pick up some of their advice. When I roll up these blunts, deadass, like. Mine was good. I had a crew of about 12 here, or 14, I guess. He had the badass grandsons wilding out. Okay. Family functions. Yeah. And I'm glad that you and your lady are free of that. I told you that. Week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Now, revelation over the weekend. Got another friend. With it. This time. That's been bothering me. As it did. As it did when it bought, you know, when you got the information that your wife may have been facing. God. Huh? What I say? That's what Adonis had to say about it on the matter. Nice draw, son. Looks fire. It is. It is, sir. And as I was saying the other night, I had no idea that's what she was facing. Found that out over the weekend. I mean, I knew she was under the weather, but not that. It was never defined that was the situation, right? That she'd been dealing with issues before. But her, just like another one of my close friends, said that when this shit started. Like, I hope I don't come down with it because of their systems state, you know, that it was at that point. sort of recap one of the more overall important things too, though. Just one of them. From last week's events. That's what got me hot. Said I know I was being there for my friend who was under the weather. I know they were dealing with COVID. It doesn't matter though. Whether it was COVID or something else. I know that my friend is under the weather. And to hear constant disgruntlement about my friend who's in the hospital bothered me, y'all. But it's my birthday. No cap. Got The Last of Us 2 edition Sony Go headset for my birthday. Okay. So me pick it out, huh? What does that look like? So Jay, you still with us? Tell me I look sick. I can tell you, I know people that are sick. I don't joke about it. As far as myself, let me help you out even further. Not you, just Jay. Not you, Jay. Not just you, just anybody. Yeah. Tom looks like he's lost a little bit of weight. I was already fucking super slim, 0.0 for weight, right? So, lost muscle there. Your body has to recuperate after surgery. Yeah. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you forgot. Maybe we should do better research. But after you get a serious, undergo serious surgery, that is the first surgery I've underwent in my life. Your body pulls for resource. So yeah. That was at the little towards the end of the first month, or the beginning of the year, so a couple months ago. Spoke with the doc, everything is expected and all that. So now I'm good. It's like a 10-pound weight reduction due to my body pulling for resource to heal and recover from the surgery, of being cut open and shit. That's all. Which would also constitute out to me being even more relaxed than you've ever seen me, if you will. Or just, civil about shit. If the doctor didn't recommend for me not to be involved in intense situations, spoke on sports-wise, Well, sports is intense, but as far as conversation and this and that, nah. So we good. But please make no mistakes. I'm still firing all cylinders. Tells me you care in a way. But back in the reality, two of other things that you didn't know. I got a friend undergoing surgeries and shit like that. So as I've always said, you never know who's going through what. You never know who's dealing with what. Be cool. Be cool. That's what. You know what I mean? And I put that out there to any open ear. Every open ear here. Positive energy and prayers up for her, others I know. That's what I focus on. So if I ask God to defend them, you better rest assured that I will too. Those are the terms and conditions in the family and friend program with me. Indeed. We all have our own struggles. You do not know who's dealing with what. Unless someone told you, or they told you, or I don't know, you're psychic. And if someone told you, then it's not your business to tell other people. They told you for a reason. I hadn't been saying anything until people made it a thing. Yo, unique this, yo, unique that. Yo. Y'all should really like chill off that shit. Like, and it went all the way out to, hey, listen, you need to shut the fuck up. But politics to health. The irony and how it all played out, I swear. would so hope that that was a clone, but I do believe that would be him. The type of idiot to misuse his wisdom. And there's humor in that. A clown attempting to call someone else a clown. Honestly. The number hadn't changed. You'd been sitting here before I closed the door. You stayed around to get yourself a little bit of content, so you'd have some false validated reason to make mention on your stream. To what do we owe the shitty honors of your crappy presence? Tell me. Hadn't had to check into my stream, just getting it to now. Hadn't had to check into my stream, just getting it to now. Double up for you. Want to see some magic? Let me show you some magic. Watch those. I think it's less than 10. Oh, I put an extra on my back. Let's see if I'm that good of a magician. I am that good of a magician. Poof. Gone. I like that. 223s. Taking shots got shot at. You like that one, Skynet, huh? Me too, is it? Expect clown shit from a clown and magic from a magician. Okay. What the Joker says, I'm gonna make the pencil disappear. Watch this. Voila. So, where were we? We were talking along the lines of consideration. That's it. Just minding your own business, being considerate of others. He says you look like crack addict. You need help. Rehab time. More magic coming up. I flipped it too. We ain't doing tall glasses to shut the fuck up. We just doing magic. Now this one, it'll be easier. But wait. Skynet, Terminator. Aren't you tired of people confusing you for me? You're living in my shadow. Let me keep you there. Again, if you missed the magic trick, we'll go for it again. Ready? How the Terminator went against Skynet. It's a double up too. Alright. We use two different accounts. I like that. Let me out of here. What other one? See, they didn't want with you. I One-time magic trick. Go figure. Well, I guess for the culture that we are in here, it only worked for Hollis. There was conflict of interest. Terminator. Now, somebody wants to, he's got a bunch of devices. Yep, that's money. But I'm definitely not sitting here texting to myself. So, as I was saying, and he's put on stall. He got hit with an EMP. He good. That's the magic. He ain't acting dumb like he wasn't sitting here like Hollis listening the whole time. But that's okay. They dumb and dumb. 2 trolls on a Monday, 2 hours and 27 minutes. Not bad at all. That's a ratio of 1 troll per hour. But you know, the 2 ran up. I gave Hollis the classic tour class to shut the fuck up with the side order, get the fuck out of here. Hit him with the EMP. It's all magic. And it all happened in under 5 minutes. And in the same 5 minutes. Like, come on. One more? We got 3 minutes. Don't let your feelings get the better of you. You might just feel away if you don't get off your feelings or emotions right about now and shit. Shoot for the skies. But as I was saying, minding one's own business. When you don't know what you're talking about, it's super important. I mean, that's the premises. That's the summarization of it all. Like, and yet, I know. Y'all miss me. I need y'all to know, though, the feeling's not mutual. It's really not. The vibes that y'all bring and the energy y'all bring, I don't miss it, honestly. It's dumb and dumber type shit. People. I don't miss y'all. It's all good. And we can go through the whole thing in the last 90 days that we have remaining all over again. That'll work too. I mean, shit. Just know that. You already know that. Real life matters. Over your negative involvement and opinion and attempts. Real life matters. Anything else? If you don't have anything to contribute within here, stick to your guns, stick to your side. You'll be good. So, old man, how's life treating you? GTA thugs. Salute, sir. As I close the door, I'll tell you, life's still treating me good. Still blessed. Everything alright. Family good, life good. But, seems like these people still haven't gotten themselves to the good. Nah, they want to thrive off of negativity, but that's alright. We keep thriving with what works for us. Damn, had me a motherfucking DJ moment. Yeah. Trust me when I tell you, you're still good. And Hollis, before you jump on your stream and get to talking about somebody's weight. Wait. No. Don't do that. I know it's Monday, you looking, you fishing. I know. You was fishing the other day. You're constantly fishing, man. You ain't catch nothing yet, man. But bad vibes. So burn some more sage from the person you learned it from. And properly cleanse yourself of these negative energies that you thrive on. Alright? You get the extra. Door would have been closed, peace, salute, everybody, But I always give the 5 minutes extra to any of the weirdos. Don't mention them, y'all wanted some attention, obviously. Crying for it. You didn't have to say shit. But you in your feelings, so we gonna talk about it a little bit. Yeah. In my eyes, this entire ordeal, yo man, you just been one of the sorriest people, stream-wise, of the community, man. As far as holding shit down, man, it would work with the R&B and the music and all that if you was true behind your narrative. But your true narrative is to go on other streams. I wonder who and where you learn that from. To go in other streams and bring about some negativity so you can have some content within your stream. It's an old maneuver. We've been exposed a long time ago. But you and others have yet to learn, have a lot to learn. And you got a full gray beard. I don't understand why you haven't grasped the concept. It's quite simple. But, hey, I still too. No. Terminator, Skynet. Bro, I've known you since forever. And you've always been cool, weird. So, it's all good. I wouldn't expect nonetheless. And right on time.
Oh, slow music on walking.
Exactly. Closing out here in 1 minute. You got something you want to add, like as far as a statement for the week? You like, what you get? It's over there. Yeah. Okay.
The other package is for you.
Seriously? I thought it was for you.
She made to you. From me to me to you.
I forgot. I didn't even get the. You want to put it on? Huh? It fit me. Yeah, I know.
I don't get my top knot.
Yeah, it's actually not as promoted, but.
Yeah.
And then there was that in delivery, so yeah.
So did you take a picture of it and send it?
No, not yet.
This is how it showed up?
Not yet.
So I'll send you a note.
Jesus, man. You're tearing things up in here. I'll be right there. But for once, a cool, positive distraction. So we'll just go to there. Yeah, because there wasn't much to say about Germany. I'm the one that went against the system. Alexander, I will relay that to her. You do the same. Or she can read it for herself. Yikes. Hey, Shpadi. Go on, I'm coming out there.
Oh, you already opened it.
Who already opened it?
You did.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Then why is it open?
That's a good question. It wasn't opened by me. I did not open this.
Maybe Vera opened it.
Maybe Vera opened it.
So, it's a surprise, but...
I mean, I saw the stamp on the outside. And I was like, I saw that. I was like, so that had to be for you. Hat hanging. Alright, we gotta figure this out.
Yeah, there's a video.
Watch the video.
But I'm redoing your phone. That's what the surprise is.
That's what this is?
That's half of it.
You
Well,
redoing
part
my
of it.
closet? Okay.
Yes. I already have baskets right there for that show, so those gotta go. We've already been working on this down here, you don't know?
But you don't know.
They've been helping me work on what's in that box, which is all your CD working. But I only got 10 of them to see if you even like them before we get more.
Say again?
And we got that 10 pack
Yeah.
to see if you even like them before we get more.
Oh, okay. Well,
Get out of here. Yeah, give me those minutes.
there you have it. Stay safe, stay smart, stay up. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace, people. Alexander was saying peace out to you.
Say bye.
Say bye. We all gotta wave. He said the M&M's are too good.
Oh, don't spill.
Peace.
Yeah.